Hello, everyone. It is time for another game review with your host, Great Taz. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Great Taz here once again with another game review. Today, we're going to be reviewing a game from Firaxis Games. We already did its counterpart earlier, last month. And that was Sid Meier's Civilization 4 Colonization. Today is going to be Sid Meier's Civilization 4. This is the fourth installment of the Sid Meier Civilization game. And at the point of this recording, there is 6 total. That does not include any games that might be off-verts like Colonization, Civ 4 Colonization, Alpha Centauri, Alpha Centauri 2, or any of the other ones that are based off the original Civilization, but not exactly following right behind the footsteps of Civilization. So, as you can see here, this is the opening scene of the game. And it's a game from a while back. It's you can easily see that it takes a little bit. So as you can see here, we're still going through some more of the cutscenes and stuff like that. So we're just going to let this play out and see what we get. Now, this particular Civilization 4, this one I bought. This is not off of Steam, but the game is available via Steam. I bought the complete edition in game, which came with Civilization Beyond the Sword, Civilization Warlords, and then also Colonization. So it's going to be a review of all those combined. Well, X minus Colonization, because we already went over that one. So it's going to have all the 2 expansions that go along with it. Now, like I said, this game has been around since 2005, which was initially released, and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to load a game, and then we're going to go from there. So let's get to that. Alright, you can see here I skipped through the whole part of all the loading and picking everything. I just picked the defaults for what I normally play, and you can see here we're going to play as the Mongolian Empire. In Civ 4 you have 2 styles of characters. This is how these characters will actually play as NPCs. He's aggressive and they're expansive. They have starting technologies of the wheel and hunting, and then they have their horse archers, or the Kashik, which is a unique unit for the Mongolians only. So, and as you can see here, this is where we're going to start. And if you played Civilization, you know there's a bunch of little different things, and I'm going to run through them quickly. This is basically your event log. Here is going to be your domestic advisor. Going to tell you about your cities. This is your financial advisors, your money you got coming in. Your change, you can change your civics here. If you up here in the right hand corner, ladies and folks. Your foreign advisor, your military advisor, find your units, your technology or science advisor, your religion. You can convert religions. This is your victory conditions, of course. You have your info screen. Up here you also have the Civilopedia, and then your main menu. Down here near the mini map, we have our. We can end the turn by clicking here, or we can hit Shift Enter, as it says on the left. We got this is a ping if you're playing in multiplayer. Okay. We got show the tiles, which I like to have turned on. We can bear map, which will remove all cities and troops from it, so you can see better. Yield display, I like to have that also on because it shows me what's around me and what I can get. Now, okay, this is a scores display. This is down here in the right hand corner. We're the only one we've seen. And this is the large icons to show you what's in the area. As we can see, we got 3 elephants and a cow. And then this is the world map to zoom out to global view and then zoom back into there. And with that, we're going to get on with the game. There's going to be a lot of cuts in and outs. I'm not going to sit here and try to play this whole game. If anybody knows anything about Civilization, Civilization is not a quick game. It takes a long time, and you got to research technologies and do this and that. So there's going to be a lot of cut ins and outs. So please give me a little leeway here, and I'm going to try to give you some of the finer points of the game. All right, here's one of those jump points. You can see we already started our name. We can change the name of the city, but I don't change the name of the cities. I haven't changed the name of cities since like Civ 2. I used to have a whole crudload of names for cities and like actual nationality names and stuff, and I kind of got rid of all that stuff a long time ago. So we're going to go with this. This is basically what you'll get when you get a new city. We'll go in here to examine city. This is all the stuff you can build. Now, we already have a scout out and about. So what I really normally do is I normally end up building a scout to help explore and then build other stuff. But I am going to go with that same theory on my general plan. Is I'm going to go with a scout. We don't have a warrior. I'm going to go with the warrior. I'm going to go with the worker. And then I'm going to go with the barracks. And then that is my next... As you can see, 105 turns, depending on how things work out. Now, what I'm also going to do is, because I'm trying to build quicker, I'm going to move this over here, and this is going to shorten down everything by a third. As you notice now, my scout's only 10, my warrior's only 10, the worker's still 30, but the barracks is only 30 instead of 45. So it didn't help the worker, but it helped the other 3, and that's going to help us out in the long run. And we're going to get moving on and go on with some more. Now, after you found your first city, you'll come across this. This is your research, and it'll ask you what you want to do. And since we already start with the wheel, and I believe what it was, hunting. I'm not 100% sure. I can always look at the tech. I can always look at the tech tree by looking right here. And we got mining. These are the main ones. We got hunting, agriculture, wheel, and mining. Mining and agriculture everyone starts with, no matter what race you put. They are the basics, but everything else you have to research. So we start out with the wheel, so we can build a road, and we already got hunting, so we can get the scout, the spearman, and build a camp, and then we can move on to further stuff down the line. So my choices are, simply fishing. I could do fishing. It would give me just this, but animal husbandry, because I have the cows right here, I'm going to need that before anything. But I like to go with my military defense first, always. So we're going to go with archery, and that's going to set up some better defensive units. Now, another one of these little key points is if you have a scout or even a troop, you'll run across the villages and the tribal villages, and these are good to go into because they'll give you many things. Like the villages provided us with a settler. So now we can build a second city, which is awesome to have a second city so early in the game, considering it takes so long. You have to have at least a population of 2 in a city, and it takes so long to build it in that city time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'll figure out where the best position where this is, where it's not going to overlap minimally on this this city. And when the city, I say about overlapping, a city area grows. It is the center being kind of think like a bingo card, except for taking the 4 corners out, and that's the size a city can use from within inside the city, where you can put citizens and stuff like that. So it's basically a total of 20 squares, and that's excluding where the city is. So 21 squares a city will take up. So I want to try to minimize that to 1, maybe 2 at the most. And as you go down later in the game, this gets harder to do because you've got more stuff. So we're going to move on. I will have next time, shortly, I will have my next city, hopefully, and maybe have a third one. Now, I just wanted to jump in here real quick. Now, like I said, think of a bingo card. Right now, minus this corner, this city will not be able to get this one. But if I build a city here, it will get this one and this one, but not this one. And this one will be able to grow here and here, but not here. So they will not be overlapping. But in turn, when it does grow, I'll be able to grab up this cow, this granite, stone. You know, we got some rice here, and then we got some spices over off in here. Stone. So it's a good. I've got lucky with this starting. Really lucky. I mean, in the future, I'm going to run into somewhere spices where I'm going to overlap, but we'll get to that when we get there. Now, if you noticed up here, there was an Indian village that gave us his workers, and workers help improve tiles. So we started them right here on our new city, improving. We're going to build roads on everything because it increases movement speed, and then we're going to irrigate probably most of this, and then work from there. Now here's another one of those Indian villages. We're going to just jump on it real quick, and it gave us 40 gold. Another reason I got in here is, as you see, my settlers is right next to this panthers. Now I could attack these with my not settlers, but my scouts. I could attack them, but my scouts are better off if they try to defend than if they attack, because they're not strong, but the defensive bonuses will help them as compared to attacking the panthers. And then as more experience they get, you can give them different abilities and stuff like that. So, and as you can see here, we're back to the pick, and then of course, because we want to be able to use these cows on both positions. Once we get the upper one, we're going to go with animal husbandry, and then we'll go with fishing, and that'll allow this city up here to use all these water zones for food. Now, as you see here, our main city has this symbol. The borders of the city has combined because the culture has allowed it. And as you can see, what I was talking about. Now you look inside the city real quick. We go in, and you can see the areas that it can actually select. So we're going to not worry about food, and we're going to go right here and go stagnant so that we can speed up production right this minute, and get my warrior, then get the warrior, and then get the barracks. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and add the shift. Now, you can switch between your cities by these arrows in the city area. So we're going to switch up here and then add, because it's building a warrior, a barracks, and then worker. We're going to build the archer right after that and then call it a day. So, and then we're going to move on out from there. As you can see here, both of our warrior units are actually produced. And now I'm going to move them around in not far from my cities so that they can actually take out any barbarians or any threats that might come to my cities as my cities continue to grow. Now, a little thing is what you want to do every once in a while is look at your worldview. And you notice I'm kind of on a corner of like maybe an island. So what I can do is as I grow my cities, I can grow down here and I can block off this whole section and keep anybody from getting around here, stealing any of the resources. And then I can expand out to the, we'll call it the northwest, by covering the south and the southwest of where I'm at and the southeast, and I can grow out towards the southwest later. But I want to get a nice line of cities, making it where it's impossible for enemies to go through my territory and get behind me until they get ships, which won't be long. But once I do that, as long as I continue to grow, I can fill this area up with my cities, and I get a good grouping in the area of land. So when you're in the global VAP menu, you got some other options that I didn't mention earlier. You get strategic layers. This shows you the position and density of information. This shows you where all your troops are and enemy troops are. This can also track religion spread. We don't have any religion right now, so we don't have to worry about it. This is culture. This is our culture, so we get to see what it is and other enemies' cultures. And this is displays of different trade groups. We really don't have any trade groups, so it doesn't really matter right now. And then again, with this whole thing, it shows us the icons. We can change the food from food, luxuries in general, to everything. And you can see there's a lot of stuff out here: food, gold, food, luxuries, irons are luxuries. And the ones that are actually colored differently, that tells you they're in a territory. So these are brown like my territory, so they're within my territory. Now here's the one little thing. Sometimes when you run across those villages, I got fishing from this village. It's in the middle of a continent, but I still learned fishing. So don't ask me how that works out, but it did. And it allows me to build workboats, which create offshore platforms, whaling boats, and fishing boats. But you need to have like the special icon item in that area. So, and it gives me sailing, which allows me more ships, and pottery, which allows me to build my granary, which helps cities grow faster. Oh, here we produced our first archer unit, and this is some of the promotions. Since we got the barracks, they get a first automatic promotion. And since it's going to be a city defense item, we're going to give it city garrison +1. It gives +20 to city defense, and that'll help it defend the city better. And then we're going to fortify inside the city, and then go from there. All right, here we're the first to discover an tech tree piece of information, and it gives us a religion, and the first to found this technology finds this religion. So we found Hinduism. Now Buddhism was already found by someone else. So our major cities are going to be Hindu in their religious beliefs. And you can continue on with moving that forward throughout your city, and then when you get missionaries and stuff like that, you can send them to opposing cities, other PCs, computer players, computer opponents, and then convert their cities to Hinduism. And in the long run, it doesn't do a lot, but it helps. If you're all under the same religion, your relationship with that nation is going to be better. And if you convert to like your religion, like here it says, Hinduism spread to your lands, converting will produce +1 happiness in all cities with Hindu. Would you like to adopt a new creed? And it's only going to take a turn, so I might as well. And then we go back to this because we just did this. As you can see, if you read here, meditation, the first two researches tech finds Buddhism. Like I said, it's already been found somewhere else. Now we just got to figure out which is going to be the quickest. Priesthood allows us to do some other stuff. But we want to be able to take down trees. So we're going to get hit with bronze working real quick because we got trees we want to cut down so we can build stuff on it and then move on from there. Alright, here we've run into our first other civilization is going to be the Romans with Julius Caesar as the leader. And as you can see on the map in the back, this is the purple outline. And if you look at the mini map, we got a real large area that we could actually grow. And if we grow correctly, we can block off that whole corner of the map and keep it for ourselves. But the problem is the thing we have to do is continue to build settlers and defensive units to defend these cities as we grow. So we're going to try to expand as quickly as possible and do stuff like that. So we're going to say peace in our time and say farewell and then move on with some more. Now here's one of the things that'll pop up from random time. the greatest civilizations of the world, and it's all dependent on basically what it comes up. Depends on where you are. This one's most cultured. I'm not quite sure how I'm with two cities and one cultured the full expansion, first expansion, and one possibly getting real close. That I'm not one of the top 8, but for some reason I'm not. But we don't know the other 8 civilizations, and Rome's not one of the top 8, so it doesn't show up there. These will come up randomly, and it'll give you an idea where you stand amongst your computer opponents. Or, if you're playing multiplayer, your other players that are playing. Alright, here we're going to do a quick little review. As you can see, this is the continent we're on. Alright. It's not a small continent. It's a mediocre size. And we've run into the English and the Romans on our continent. Now, again, like I mentioned before, you want to try to find a way to block off a whole portion of your map. You can do that by building cities and having them expand, but I'm going to expand down south and then expand up. And I'm hoping in the long run that I can expand fast enough that the stinking Romans won't come down into my basic area. Now, there are some areas in here that are going to be great for growth, like this spot over here where the mark is right now, because it's surrounded by desert, and desert doesn't give you anything. And we got a lot of different resources, like we've got copper down here, we got wine, we got marble. Again, that marble's on the way on the other side of a desert, so it's going to make it hard to get to. And then we have other stuff up here. We're getting gems and bananas, and then dye. And we want to try to get as much as this as we can because it gives us trading material. And here you can see that from what we know of the Romans, they have rice, they have bananas, they have fish and clams. And it looks like London has some stuff, but I can't really tell because their color's white and these things are initially white. So as you look, you can see a little bit better. And then if we just do this, we can see they have 3 clams and a fish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that I'm far into the game and I've expanded quite a bit, and the opposing nations on my island have expanded quite a bit, I'm coming to draw this to a close. As you can see, it holds, if you've ever played Civilization games, it holds all the aspects of the original Civilization games, plus add a lot of new stuff. Now, do I recommend the game? Yes, I totally recommend the game if you like Civ games, and I know this one can be found on Steam, so you can download this off of Steam and start playing right from 4. Now, I'm not sure if 1 through 3 can be found on Steam. As for graphics wise, this is probably going to be the better one to start with. It has some decent graphics and it has a lot of mechanics to it, and you can actually just really in turn learn a lot of stuff from this before, if you're looking to pick up like 5 or 6. Now 5 and 6, there's a lot of major changes. I do have those, and I will be doing reviews of those in a short time period. So keep an eye out for those reviews. And stuff like that. And it's the... And everything... Hinduism everywhere. Because I've spread it. In all, to me, it's a really good game. It's a fun game, and it can be a long game. If you got a lot of time on your hands, or if you're good at keeping track of time, which I'm not so great, you can go ahead and actually turn around and basically slowly, move on through the game and find some more fun stuff. There's a portion that goes beyond what current technology we had at the time of the game and building space stations and stuff like that. So there's various aspects to ways to win. You can conquer your enemies. You can conquer the world. You can get it through diplomacy. You can science, be the first one in the space and all that good stuff. And there's quite a few things that you can really do for many of the things throughout this game. And here's some of the victory conditions. Time, you have a certain amount of time. Your conquest, limit all enemies. We started with 10. We still have 10. Domination. I have 35% of the world population, but I have 56% of the land area of the world. So, and I have 3 cities with legendary culture, so you can go with a cultural win. And then space race is all through this. And you can win by diplomatic, by keeping friendly with everyone and winning overall. And these are your settings and your resolutions. And your space race. These are just all your conditions and all the great stuff for your victory conditions. And it's an overall, again, like I said, I do recommend the game. It's a good starting point for minimum getting into the Civilization franchise if you've never played it. And it's a lot more simpler than 4 and 5 and 6. 5 and 6 adds a lot more stuff to it. So I hope you enjoyed this review. It's a game completely worth having and playing. And I really hope you take time to sit down and look at the game. With that being said, this is Great Tez signing off. If you're not a subscriber, before I subscribe off, if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and click the subscription button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't like this video and think it deserves it, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Now, I'm always looking for more subscribers, so like you said, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click the subscription button. Tell your friends, families, other gamers that you may know about my channel, and let's get this channel growing so I can do many more things. And if you have any comments, questions, go ahead and feel free to comment in the comment section, and I will respond as soon as I can. Again, with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Tez signing off, wishing you all a great day, and keep gaming responsibly.